next game is Brain Dead 13, starring Fritz. And yeah, this game, it is the same style like Dragon Slayer or Space Ace. It is basically a quick time event, this game. And yeah, you watch all the cutscenes, and at a certain point you have to push in the right direction or push one of the action buttons, and there's actually not more to say about this game. It is a funny game, but it's pretty hard, and I have to say, because I also have Brain Dead 13 for the 3DO, the graphics were better on the 3DO than on the Atari Jaguar CD. But I can recommend this game to everybody who likes games like Dragon Slayer and yeah, also Space Ace. It's not bad if you like those kind of games. The next game is Highlander, the last of the MacLeods, and this game is based on the animated series of Highlander. And I have to say, I only played this game one time for this review, so I'm not that familiar with this game, but it also has cutscenes from the TV series, and the game reminds me a lot of Alone in the Dark, or yeah, you can actually say of the old Resident Evil games, because you have pre-rendered backgrounds, and you have the tank controls of the character. And yeah, from that much that I've seen from the game, it's pretty hard, I have to say. And yeah, graphically it also reminds me of Alone in the Dark with the old 3D graphics. I guess if you like games like Alone in the Dark, then you might consider trying out this game or getting this game. And yeah, I can't really say that I would recommend it or would not recommend it. I didn't play very much of this game, but yeah, this is Highlander, the last of the MacLeods for the Atari Jaguar CD. Now the last game that I'm gonna show you is Iron Soldier 2, and this is a sequel to Iron Soldier 1. This is actually one of the last games that were released for the Atari Jaguar, or better, let's say for the Atari Jaguar CD. It was actually released by Telegames and not by Atari. And yeah, it is a sequel. In this version you have cutscenes, because it's the CD version, and it is basically the same game like Iron Soldier 1, but you have a couple of new weapons, then different missions of course. The graphic is also improved. Now you have more details on enemy vehicles like the tanks or the helicopters. Also you have more details on the buildings, the backgrounds look better. So bottom line, it is an improved version of Iron Soldier 1. And again, I can't tell you that much about the game because I also played it the first time for this review, and the reason for that is because I actually got this game not that long ago and I didn't had any time playing this game before. So yeah, if you like Iron Soldier 1, and then you can't go wrong with Iron Soldier 2, and yeah, also if you like those kind of games like mech simulations. So yeah, this is Iron Soldier 2. Okay, now that you've seen the video games for the Atari Jaguar, let's talk about why this system failed. And I guess a lot of you already noticed what might have been the problem. Yes, the games. And again, I'm not saying that the games were bad or anything, but they didn't live up to the expectations of the consumers/video gamers. And everybody had high hopes because of the Atari commercials. The advertising slogan of the Atari Jaguar was "Do the math." And yeah, beside the fact that the commercials were pretty weird, Atari always pointed out that this is a 64-bit system, much more advanced than any other video game system, 4 times as powerful as the 16-bit video game systems such as the Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo, and twice as powerful as the 32-bit systems like the 3DO. And no game, not even Alien vs Predator, could actually confirm the statement from Atari. Now, since the release of the Atari Jaguar, there's a huge debate about is the Jaguar really a 64-bit system or not. I think it is a 64-bit system, but only in theory. Technically, it's a combination of 16, 32 and 64-bit technology. And yeah, it was so complicated design that video game developers didn't know how to use the full potential of the system. And again, Alien vs Predator is an awesome and beautiful looking game and very impressive for that time. But in my opinion, I think yeah, it actually just scratches the surface of the capability of that system. So bottom line, the video game developers had no idea how to use the potential of the system, and yeah, the commercials backfired because the consumers/video gamers actually did the math, and the result was far from satisfying. For me personally, yeah, it's a real pity that the system was a failure, because actually Atari had some great ideas for the Atari Jaguar, like the virtual reality headset. And yeah, just imagine if the Jaguar video game system and the virtual reality headset were a success. Who knows what kind of video games and accessories we might have today. And also Atari wanted to release the Jaguar Duo, which would have been a cost-reduced version of the Jaguar video game system, and this one would have actually combined the Jaguar with the Jaguar CD add-on. But Atari dropped that project. Also Atari was working on a successor, the Jaguar 2, and this system would have been 3 times as powerful as the Atari Jaguar. But again, also this system this project was cancelled. And yeah, today I know that a handful of Jaguar Duo prototypes were made, but I've never heard anywhere that they even made one prototype of the Jaguar 2. And speaking of prototypes, during the developing of the Atari Jaguar, Atari also worked on a second console, the Panther, and this system would have been a 32-bit system. But they also cancelled this project because the progress was so fast on the Atari Jaguar, much faster than Atari actually assumed, so they only wanted to focus on one system. Okay, this was actually the story of the Atari Jaguar video game system, and yeah, bottom line, it was a failure. And I'm gonna be honest, I guess if I would have bought the Atari Jaguar back in the days, I would have been also disappointed for the most part. But today I think it's a pretty decent console, and it's not as bad as so many people say it is. And if some of you are actually interested in buying Atari Jaguar or CD add-on or games or anything, then I can give you a couple of examples what prices you would have to expect on eBay. Now, for only the Atari Jaguar video game system, you would have to pay around $60 to $300 depending on the condition. For the Atari Jaguar CD add-on, you would have to pay between $150 to $600 US, again depending on the condition. The Pro controller, you would have to pay between $40 to $100, and yeah, the games, depending on the condition and the title, you would have to pay between $10 to $120. And if you find some homebrew games or prototypes of games or accessory or anything, then yeah, you would actually have to pay much more higher prices than I said before. Okay, yeah, now we're at the end of my review, and I have to say this was the hardest review that I made so far, because you can find so many informations about the system, the games, the accessories online and also in books. And yeah, putting all those informations in one video was pretty hard for me. And yeah, but I hope you enjoyed the show, and yeah, maybe see you next time. Take care. Bye.